the music is ending, it's time for us to start talking. How are you, Boyd and Eric?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Good to see you guys. Good morning on this Tuesday morning. How
Good
are you?
morning. I'm doing great, Karol. Thanks for asking. So yeah.
Awesome.
So in case anybody's noticed, we have a guest with us here this morning. This is Eric De La Rosa. He is a credit coach, a senior consultant with ASAP Credit out of Houston, Texas. And this is a gentleman we have worked with for a number of years now. Karol, if we got 10 phone calls, how many of those phone calls end up being sent to credit repair?
Oh, I think 4 or 5 out of
Yeah,
those.
I would think so. 4 to 5, almost half of all of our calls we end
Yeah.
up sending to Eric, because people have trouble with their credit, and the number one reason we can't fund them is because their credit score is just, or their report is lacking something, and so we need help of a professional credit fixer. And so for years, we've been sending our clients to Eric, and he's here to answer some questions today and talk about their process. And very glad to have him here. A good credit repair person is gold. You need to have one. Everybody needs to have one, us in particular. So I'm glad Eric's here. So Eric, first of all, the most pressing and most important question I have on my mind is, as you know, the baseball playoffs are happening right now.
Right.
Having grown up in the Seattle area, I'm still a long-suffering, lifelong fan of the Seattle Mariners. But out of the whole baseball world, the baseball universe, what is your favorite movie ever made about baseball?
A great question. I would have to say, as far as my favorite movie for baseball oriented would be The Sandlot.
Sandlot. There you go.
I enjoy the
Mine
most.
too. And I'm not
Karol
a
loves that one.
Eagles fan. I'm a soccer fan, but
Karol loves that one. Okay. Well, now that the hard questions are out of the way, we'll give you the softballs now, right? So, yeah. So, Eric, I want to actually let Karol start with the question here. Karol, you got the first question.
Yes. So, Eric, well, always a pleasure to work with you. We've been talking almost every day. How long you have been involved in the credit repair industry? For how long? And how long as a senior consultant or coach as well?
Yeah, great question. Well, again, I want to first thank y'all so much. I think y'all are a big part of what I do. Like you said, I hear from y'all every single day. At least since the past couple of days, we've been speaking every day. But even before then, you got clients to me left and right, like you said. And I'm really appreciative of that. So I want to thank y'all for that, and personally applaud for y'all for that. I really love you guys, and thank you for that. I've been here at ASAP Credit Repair 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, moved. I did every position here at ASAP to the point where I get to the point where I am now. But 6 years I've been doing it. I enjoy it. Enjoy helping people achieve their goals. In this case, get funded for business purposes and whatever they like to do. But that's how long I've been doing it for 6 years.
Wonderful. Thank you. So it was there a moment any time that during the process you help someone with their credit score in some way that you knew it was a good path for you to say like, okay, this is what I want to do, um, for so many years to come and grow at it and just help people. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say just one time. I had it. It's happened numerous of times.
Lots of times.
Yeah, right. It's happened numerous of times. What we gotta understand here is like we're dealing with people's personal, right? People are looking to make moves, trying to get home, cars, loans, whatever the case may be, right? So whenever you put someone in position to put them in position to make that move, like it starts getting really emotional, right?
Yes.
So like I've had situations where I've been able to help somebody that doesn't completely really know anything about credit, and they're like, well, how do I go about it? And this was an individual, and this was probably like whenever I first became the credit coach, and she ran with my advice, did everything I advised you to do. We got removals off her credit report. I speak to my clients at the end of each round of services, right? So like I'm always pushing like, hey, keep doing this, and that, as much as you can. But as long as someone is coachable, man, she was able to get herself like 3 or 4 credit cards throughout the process. I remember she got a car. She was struggling to get into an apartment. She was able to, so she was finding opportunities to be a lot more easier to do, like make and get approvals for those things. So she was very appreciative. Something like that has been something that I think has kind of made me feel like, well, I'm in the right place, right? I enjoy helping people. I enjoy giving them education that in, unfortunately, like they don't really know, right? So for me to give them that info, it comes from me, and they ran away and take it and take my advice. It means the world to
I love that answer. Um, Karol and I also, just as we do what we do, trying to help people get the funding, to start or grow a business or buy a business or something. When that's successful, man, we love it. It just feels so good. And you're right, it's emotional, and we're dealing with their personal lives, and
Yeah.
so this partnership's been working really well, to help people get that credit fixed so they can get what they want. All
Yeah.
right, so I've got a question for you. If I asked you to guess, Eric, how many people has ASAP Credit helped to improve their credit score and credit reports?
That's a great question. I want to say it would be around the number of around 70,000 or more, about 70,000 or more. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I would say we've been in business 13 years and still going running strong. So that's just a guess, right? I could be. It could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
more. I wouldn't say it was a guess. I'd say
run,
more.
run a report for me. Yes. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome.
Wonderful. Okay. So what are key areas in the credit report, Eric, where you can take the biggest positive impact?
Okay, that's a great question. Of course, we all know the main purpose. The majority of people want to go in and sign up for our services is it's results driven, right? They want to get the negative accounts removed off their credit report, and that's correct, right? But I feel like where I make the most impact is giving them the advice as to how to continue to manage their credit and continue to have the highest, credit scores even beyond our services. Yes, you're on
Hmm.
our services now, but my goal is that whenever you're done with our services, is that you continue to have that same education that me and ASAP Credit Repair overall provided you throughout the process. That way you continue to make the moves that you're wanting to make, right? So I feel like where I make the most impact is that advice. Like, hey, how do you manage your credit cards? Hey, how do you do this, this, and that? That is where I probably have the highest impact. Of course, removals, that's I understand that is a big key contributor. But if you don't have a credit coach by your side to tell you, hey, remember, we can't do this, we can't do that. It's actually more beneficial to do this than that. I think that's where I make the biggest impact, and I feel like has led me to be where I'm at now.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. And it's definitely no easy because we have clients and customers that when they call us, it's you are entering to their privacy when you look at their report when it's not looking great. And of course they don't feel proud of it. So and for them it's also like, okay, I'm kind of in your hands, but I need help. And we're like, as soon as you start doing this process, the better. Because if you need funding, you need to start a new business, you need a new way of life. This is the way to do it. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
So I've got two questions I want to ask at this point. Um, are there any items on a credit report that are really tough to handle, or just too tough to handle? Do you ever have to just throw up your hands and say, "Can't help you with this"?
Great question. That's a phenomenal question. Um, I would like to say that I don't. There hasn't been a type of account that we haven't been able to remove here. We've been able to remove all kinds of accounts, right? So I wouldn't say there's a situation where it's too tough. I mean, here at ASAP, I mean, we're open to challenges. Let's take on those big
Hmm.
accounts. Let's take on those accounts that you've been trying yourself and you haven't been able to get them off or whatnot. We are always striving to improve our strategies. Like we don't just use, okay, this is what works, let's just do it. No, like we revamp them. If something's not working, we have to go ahead and make do different things and tweak our strategies. I wouldn't say that there is a situation that's too tough. I mean, I've seen accounts that have been $24,000 worth alone for SoFi specifically. I've seen recent lates come off. Like I've seen situations to the point where like you asking me what's too tough. I can't really tell you that there's a tough account where we can't do because I have seen even the ones that I thought were tough when taking on a client that I was like, oh man, but you don't really know until you go through the process and you go through
Hmm.
that, right? And that's how you really find out. And that's what's tough. Like some clients are like, they think about the move and like, ah, should I not? Should I not? Well, I mean, if you don't, like, what are you really going to do? Are you going to go ahead and attempt on your own? Are you going to use a platform like Credit Karma or something like that to dispute? I mean, you
Hmm.
can go that route, right? That's you can very well do that. But we've been doing it. We've been in business 13 years, but I mean, we've
Mhm.
had a lot more years under our belt as far as how much education we have
Sure.
in the credit repair process. So I wouldn't say there's an account that's too tough, to be honest with you, boy.
That's great to hear because sometimes we get these soft pull credit reports coming in, and we'll see like 8 charge-offs and 30 times they've been 90 days late. We just like, oh man, there's no hope for this person. And many times we just say, hey, you know what? The only thing we can recommend for you right now is to talk to our friends at ASAP Credit Repair and let them tell you what can and can't be done. Because sometimes it just looks insurmountable to us,
Right.
but we send them off to you. Okay, so my follow up question is then, what are some steps, some simple steps that anybody could take right now to improve their credit report, their credit score?
Okay,
Yes.
great question. I would say the steps you can really take. You first think how many open active accounts do you have on your credit, right? How many active accounts are you making payments towards? That would be one thing. If you find yourself being lower than five, then you want to add some more structure and overall foundation to the credit. So if you need to add more accounts, you can go that route. The easiest way to get approvals on an account, if you're worried about kind of inquiries or whatnot, then you can secure credit cards. More than likely, you get approval for. And there's also credit builder type of accounts out there as well. Um, the ones that I typically recommend are going to be Kickoff, and then the other one would be Self Lender. Those are the two that I actually recommend. There are others out there. It's just that the ones that I feel like the more effective in my experience would be those two. I'm sure there's
Mhm.
more out there. Maybe I just need to do my due diligence and looking them into it a little bit
And
more.
what were the two, kickoff and
Kickoff, which is not traditionally spelled like kickoff, it would be
yeah,
Kikoff.
KIK
And then the other one would be Self Lender, which
self
sometimes
lender?
you
Okay.
see at Self. There's
Uh huh.
apps on there too. I wouldn't say. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have them myself. But that's because I don't find myself in the situation where like I have lower than
Yeah.
five accounts. But for
Right.
someone that does, that would be the best route. If they don't have any secure credit cards, then secure credit cards would be the first thing to do. Because credit cards, I mean, they make up over a third of your overall score. So without them,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough. You're going to find yourself kind of reach a situation where you're not able to improve. You're going to reach a cap, and you're not going to really improve the score anymore. So you need to add at least you have at least three credit cards is what you want to have on your
Okay. Thank you,
credit.
Carol.
Oh, so many things that I want to take notes, so I'm going to listen to this
Yeah.
to this podcast again. What are some common myths, Eric, and misunderstandings do people have about their credit reports? We have it often. And what are two or three truths maybe that you can share right now about credit reports and that might surprise people like you did with us last week? And then I was like,
Yeah.
great.
Let me get into that. I would say inquiries. I feel like that a lot of people have that idea that they really impact you terribly in a sense. Inquiries. I mean, as long as you're doing, of course, don't do a lot of them at a time, right?
Mhm.
But you're allowed six on per bureau per year before they really start impacting in a negative way.
6
Like
per year?
six per year per bureau, right?
Okay.
Per bureau. Okay.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Because as you may know, I mean, not all creditors run all three. Some may just run one. Some may just run two. It just depends. So that's why six per bureau per year. Anytime where you're doing that six, like anywhere from one to six, it may impact your credit score anywhere from one to maybe 8 points or so. Now, once you get above the six, then you're gonna start seeing your scores drop a little bit more than that, 1 to 8 points. So that would be one. Never close open active accounts. Any
Yes.
credit cards that you have, like some people are like, I don't want to deal with them. I'm tired of them. Let me just pay them off and then just close them. Well, fortunately, if you do that, then what happens is your score drops, right? Because an account goes from open and active. to close. The way the credit system works is kind of based off like responsibilities and payments. So if you're losing responsibility of the payment, then your score drops a bit, right? And I know sometimes it's like what, that's contradicting. And then like kind of for example, um, like if you have an auto loan or some kind of loan, right, or any kind of installment account, there's a start, right, and then there's a finish. So when we get to the point where we finish it, then it's going to report as open or paid as or closed. Well, it's going to cause your score to drop after it closes.
Mm.
Yes.
You get to like, what? Why? I just finished paying like a 20,000 plus account, and you're telling me my score is going to drop? Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's how the credit game works. In that case, like what somebody can, depending on what someone is doing with their credit, like if you're trying to add something else, then you can kind of bounce back and add one of those accounts I told you, self or kick off. If that puts you at the lower than five account situation, so I would say that those that'd probably be the answer to that question there.
Mhm.
Yep, that'd probably be my answer
That's great.
there.
Yeah, I have a friend that owns a restaurant, and she was asking me, she's looking for a loan and she's trying first with the banks, and we always support that. Of course, the banks have already said to her no 2 3 times, so I'm like, okay, let's make an appointment, talk to us. But she's like, okay, how many points do they take when they do the hard pull on the banks when you are requesting for funding? Do you know, you have an idea?
hmm Yeah, yeah. Well, just it depends where she's at, right? How many has she already done? If she's
3.
so if she's done three and they pull her credit, she's probably gonna see her score drop maybe anywhere from like 6 to 10 points. Not something
Okay.
that it's not something that now when someone said hears that, oh, your score's gonna drop. I mean, it's like, oh, why? Well, I mean, it's not something you can't bounce back from. Like you can bounce back, right?
Mhm.
Just
Yes, always.
inquiries are gonna come off on their own after 2 years. So it's like it's not something to get down on yourself on. Like okay, like we can see where else you may need an improvement on to get yourself back those points. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of factors that factor into credit. So for her in specific, like maybe we don't know how her balances are on her credit cards. Maybe she can pay them down each one, maybe like $60 on each one, and maybe she can get those 10 points back.
Do you guys at ASAP Repair offer any kind of education resources during the process
Great
for the
question.
Mhm.
So when someone does go ahead and decide to do our services, we do like throughout the process, we do have like educational like emails, and we send them like a text like, hey, we sent you an email. Go ahead and take a look at it. And then will have educational things on there, reminding them like, hey, remember to have 5 to 7 active accounts, like I mentioned. Keep your balances low on your credit cards. Different type of things like that. There's no lessons or anything that we offer, but throughout the process, we try to keep our clients as engaged as possible, remind them on the things that are going to allow them to see their scores improve the most. Because with credit repair, we do our part, right? And which is the goal is to remove the accounts off the credit report. But as long if you don't do your end, your part on your end, then you can't get the maximum potential results, right? So it's a hand-in-hand process. As long as you take my advice and run away with it and do it, and removals happen, then you're gonna have a greater improvement throughout the process.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Nice, nice. So, Eric, one thing we commonly see as we're reviewing someone's credit report is car dealers putting multiple hard inquiries on in the same day. Like I go to get a car and they'll put 4 or 5 hard inquiries on, and we can often see when somebody went car shopping because here's 15 inquiries in a 2 day period,
Right.
Saturday, Sunday, when someone went car shopping. Um, what can be done to avoid that? I mean, I guess you go get pre-approved by your bank or credit union, and you walk in with your pre-qual letter so that they don't have to pull credit. But what other options are there to keep that from happening in the first place? And then if it does happen, what can be done so you can recover from it quickly? Because I've seen it just crush credit scores.
Yes. In one day. In one day.
Yeah, we see this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. So I mean, as far as that goes, look, like you said, going in there with the pre-qualified from credit union, or if you have your personal bank or whatnot, would be best. But believe it or not, I still see people or clients tell me like, man, I went in there with a pre-qualified letter, and they're over here still running my credit, right? These guys get kickbacks off of that, so it's like that's the reason why they're running the credit. Trying, and then they tell you that they're trying to get the best interest rate. That's what they try
Right.
to tell you. The only way you can kind of prevent this, you got to go in there and be firm, right? And let
Yes.
them know, like, look, I'm coming to shop for a car here. I want you to understand that I know about the inquiries that you do, and I know what you do to credit sometimes. If I come here and I see that you're going to run my credit like crazy, I'm not going to buy a car from you.
Mhm.
You're not gonna sell me on anything. So it's about being like that. Now, unfortunately, sometimes some people are not like that. But if you're firm with it and you tell them, like, that's really the only thing you can really do is just tell them firmly, like, man, do not run my credit like crazy. I'm here to tell you my credit situation right now, and that's really the only thing you can really do to prevent it. I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Nice.
I've actually had the chance to be able to. I had a client that literally works in that department in a dealership,
Finance
right?
department.
I had
Hmm.
the same exact question for him. Why do we run the credit like crazy? And then it was the answer that I gave you because we're trying to get the best offer for them. Okay, I was like, okay. He's like, and he tells me that the thing is that they don't impact your credit as if all of them were done. It's only impacting the credit as if one was done. And I'm like, okay, but at the same time, every single one of them are listed on the credit report. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand. So it's like if it only counts as one towards your credit, that's okay, but you still list them all. Now, your second part of the question is like, what can be done, right? Now, with our services, we do dispute inquiries. We do give it a shot and try to see as much, how we can get them off. But it's not something that we have. I mean, the industry changes, year by year basis. In the past, 6, 7 years ago, they were a lot easier to remove them. But now it's been a lot tougher because they changed the way that they verify.
Mhm.
So we do include that with our services. We don't do extra charge for it. We do it for free as long as someone has a negative account. I would say if they wanted to really get them off, and that's what's preventing them from probably maybe getting financing with you guys, the best bet for them to do is to. And I know this is going to be a headache to say or to hear and have to do. You're gonna have to call the bureaus, right? You have to wake up
Mm.
early, get your coffee ready, and you're gonna have to call them. You may be on hold for a little bit, but call them and just dispute the inquiry that way.
Mhm.
And then if that first rep doesn't help, then we got to get to the next rep until you
Hmm.
find someone that's gonna be willing
Yes.
to move them.
Interesting. Best just not let it happen in the first place. I love your suggestion to go in there and be firm. Be
Yes.
like, you can run it once, run my
That's it.
credit
Yeah.
once, and that's it, or I'm
Yeah,
out of here. Yeah, yeah, that's a good suggestion. Very
Great,
good
thank you,
suggestion.
because we have so many that just from 4 to 8 inquiries in one day, and it's just
Yeah,
completely ruin their credit score and the chances to, of course, receive funding at that time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
right,
Okay, Eric, we often hear people's comments. I paid someone before to fix my credit just yesterday, right? We
right,
a screen boy that also another client. But they just took the money every month and for a couple of years or a year and didn't get anything done. And then can you explain that? And also one of the things that we love working with ASAP repair is because there is money back guarantee. So that's a really safe space for us and for our clients and just a peace of mind.
right. Gotcha. So the thing about it is like when someone, first and foremost, our services does not take years to do. Number one, it takes about to fix someone's credit is just that question there is just there's different answers to it, right? You can only give a range because everyone's situation is completely different. You have to
Mhm.
understand that sometimes clients have come from trying to do it on Credit Karma. Some clients come from doing it with another company, and and the thing is that clients don't really know that. Unfortunately, when you run into an account, I mean, with a company that is going to be able to help, right, and does great business and does get results, that does impact their success rate, right? So when we take on a client that had just came from someone else or it was Credit Karma, like of course let's take them on, but we do set the expectation straight. Like, okay, how long ago did you do it? And start asking questions to get specifics on them to see whether or not that point in time it's the best time for them to do credit repair for us to get the maximum potential results. Now, sometimes you don't like to hear that just because like they're trying to make a move, but at the same time, like for us, it's like okay, we understand that, but at the end of the day, our goal is to get results for you. So if we're not going to have that success rate like we wish, like that we want to have, then let's wait, right? And that's just kind of how we take that on. So yeah, I mean, it happens a lot where companies, like monthly companies, they're only going to go after a couple of accounts. So we have 10 accounts, right? And they're all on every bureau. So monthly companies tend to just go after one bureau, two, three accounts, take the monthly fee for about 2 to 3 months, move
Yeah.
on to another account in that same bureau, 2 to 3 months. So eventually they prolong it. You're looking at 1 or 2 years. You're pretty much going to be paying over $1,000 if you accumulate the amount that you spend on there. And we don't get to that point, right? We dispute everything all at once in every credit bureau that the account is reporting on. Um, that's one thing. You mentioned the money back guarantee. Yes, that is
Yes.
offered the majority of our services. We are transparent with our clients all the way around. We can help them at that point in time. We tell them why. If they need to do something else, XYZ, then we'll let them know of that. Set the follow up. Hey, you know what? We got to wait 60 days, but I'll call you on the 53rd day because we'll submit your services a week after, and I'll go over your full consult and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the thing about our industry, right? Like it's
True.
tarnished, unfortunately.
Mm.
But there is good business out there. There are companies that can legitly fix your credit. If y'all ever run into a client that's just kind of like on the fences of it, you just send them through, regardless if they have any, even if it's a inquiry client, right? Like it doesn't matter. Send them through. Maybe they're going to get some knowledge off the consultation that I have with them that probably is going to help them, in the future. So always send them through, regardless of no negative accounts or just inquiries. Did that answer your question? I want to say I answered that question.
Yeah, and we always
Yeah.
tell our clients like we won't be sending you to ASAP if we know that they really are honest and they do the job because it's our name under the line too. So we are
Right.
so grateful to work with you and Joe and all the people from ASAP Credit Repair. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks,
absolutely.
Eric.
I appreciate y'all. Like I told y'all several times, I appreciate y'all. It was a joy to meet y'all over in the weekend, over last
Yeah, a
weekend
couple
that
weeks
we
ago.
met.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
fun.
I met y'all. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Like I was like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, and I was all excited. I was even talking to some of the employees here at the office. And I'm like, man, I got to meet some of the affiliates here that have been sending clients on a consistent
Nice.
basis. So again, I appreciate
Nice.
y'all.
Love that.
I'm
Love
only
that.
a call away, email away. I'll be there right by your side to help. Hey.
So to sum up, then ASAP Credit Repair's been there for 13 years. Eric's been there for 6. Um, you've helped probably over 70,000 clients during that time. There's no job too tough, is what I heard you say defiantly. There's no job too tough. I
Right.
love that. And there is a money back guarantee. You provide wonderful coaching, helping along the way. And if before you go buy a car, make sure you tell them you're only going to run my credit once,
Yeah.
right?
Be firm.
Be firm. Be
Maybe
firm with
you're a
them.
very, very happy person, but that specific time during the time you're at the dealership, you're gonna have to turn to something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, wonderful. Well, I hear the music starting again, Karol, which tells me we're out of time. So, Eric, thank you so much for getting up early in Houston to join us today. We appreciate it. And we look forward to continuing to work with you guys for a long time.
Same
Yes,
here.
I'll
Thanks
be
for helping our
sending
clients.
emails today.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to it. Again, thank y'all again for y'all's time for having me on here. Like I said, it means the world, and I'm willing to do it anytime. Just let me know.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Likewise.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.